We're going to try out quite a few evaluation techniques today, and the first one we're going to try out is mini personal meaning mapping. Personal meaning mapping, if you can get your mouth around it, personal meaning mapping, is a very in-depth technique that you would use with a small sample of people when you want to find out what they think or feel or know before an activity or an event or going to an exhibition, and what they think or feel or know after, so what change there has been, which is very difficult with a questionnaire and is actually quite difficult with an interview as well. But personal meaning mapping is something that you can use. You don't have to be able to use words, you don't have to be able to write, you can use pictures, so you don't have to be literate to be able to do it, or you can have a low literacy level, or you can use it with adults that have a high literacy level, so you can use it with a range of different people. Now, personal meaning mapping does take quite a long time, which is why you would only ever do a very small sample, because you have to talk to people before their experience and after their experience in quite a lot of depth. But the mini personal meaning mapping is a little bit quicker because we only do it on a little postcard. So there's blank postcards in front of you. So if you could grab a postcard, and the idea is that I want you to put on your postcard all the main things that you know about evaluation at the moment. Okay? And it's only a mini postcard, so I am restricting you. So I want you to put evaluation in the middle and then do a spider diagram of everything that you know about evaluation. Now, you can use pictures. It's freestyle. This is freestyle. I'm not collecting them in. They're just for you. So you can use pictures, you can use words, you can use abbreviations, whatever. Everything you know, the main stuff about evaluation that you know. Give you 3 or 4 minutes to do that. Doesn't matter if you don't, it's not a test, so you don't have to put loads of stuff in. You don't have to, if you've only got 3 things on your postcard, that's fine. I've asked you to use evaluation as your subject today because that is what we're learning about today, and evaluating interpretation. But you can put anything in the middle of your mini postcard, or if you were doing it big, you can do it on an A4 or an A3 sheet, or giant if you want to do a whole class one or group one. And that could be anything, and it could be anything that you're thinking about, generic learning outcomes, for example, that you're trying to change someone's behaviour, perceptions, emotional connections, something, learning skills, whatever it is. You could put that topic in the middle, or a very specific question you might want to put in the middle as well. So an example where we've used this at the National Trust Workhouse, which is quite a challenging visitor experience, where we're asking people to go on an emotional journey, really, and they actually, to the start of the visitor experience, you get locked into a video room for 5 minutes, which is quite challenging, just getting locked in. So you grab them before they get locked in and ask them, what do they feel about the workhouse? Can they give us ideas of their perceptions of the workhouse before they start the visit? And at that point, we were giving them a goodie bag in exchange for that as well, adults and kids, and then get them at the end of the day, put a sticker on them so we know who they are, get them at the end of their visit, in the last room of the visit, and ask them, actually, would they like to add anything or change anything on their personal meaning map at that point? And then you can look at how is the learning and their perceptions of workhouses developing through their visit. And that was very interesting. Now, as you're doing that, talking to someone at the end, if they're writing things down or drawing stuff, I'd then be annotating that afterwards to say, by this they actually meant, I'd be saying, well, what do you mean by that, as they were going through? And I'd be annotating that as well, so that you can really get a lot of meaning out of that. And that allowed us to see how effective the workhouse was at changing people's perceptions. And actually, the workhouse had made an assumption about what the perceptions of their visitors were when they arrived, which actually wasn't right. So personal meaning mapping, very useful tool, and also to look at things like implicit conceptions, which are things that are very deep-seated about people's perceptions of a place, a person, a time, that is very hard to get over in a questionnaire. So if you do this well, you can get into some quite a lot of detail about things that you can't with other evaluation techniques. So these postcards, keep those, stow those away, and we're going to come back to them right at the end of the day.